Yeah, Cal lives in Victoria, and I live in Nanaimo, so very
I
close.
love Nanaimo and I love Victoria. Victoria is the only city where you can go downtown and be prevented from going into a parking lot because there's a cougar in there.
Too much energy.
Too much energon, like this podcast.
The beasts are here, McLeod, for the gathering.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings, Megatron.
Then they'd better stay out of my way. Blah, 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 blah. Beast Wars once and for all.
Big time Garry himself.
Man, these things look like toys.
Maximal! Maximal! Does that mean transform? Cheetor, what have you done? I am transformed.
Sigma balls, Garry. Oh no, not that. Ah!
Good evening, Axe Apes, and welcome to episode 128 of Too Much Energon, the podcast where we talk about Beast Wars shit and talk shit about Beast Wars. Coming to you live from a mysterious floating mountain, somewhere hidden on planet Energon, I am, as always, the Siege, one of your hosts.
And coming to you from one of Tarantulus's many unknown secret layers, I'm NeoCal, your other host.
This week on Too Much Energon, we originally were going to start talking about the Japanese Beast Wars, but in celebration of the show's third anniversary, I decided to reach out to a friend of the show, Candice. Been on the show many times before.
Candice
and
Santora, yeah.
And ask if, well, Garry Chalk himself would be interested in being on the show, and he agreed. And so what's about to follow is our interview with Garry Chalk, and, well, here it is.
Too much energy.
So, on this episode of Too Much Energon, we are here with a couple of guests. One making her return to Too Much Energon. She's been on the show a few times now, is a friend of the show, Candice.
Hello. Sorry, I was muting my mic because my cat keeps crying. I don't want to keep picking it up. So, hi guys, great to be back. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. Everyone loves a cat cameo, don't worry.
Oh yes, they're quite common. Yeah.
And that voice that you heard is the voice of Optimus Primal himself, Garry Chalk.
Hi
Yes.
everyone. Hey, this is my first time here, so be gentle with me. I'm just yeah. Nobody wants to be gentle. No, yeah, because because big tough guy, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Big time Garry, as I've nicknamed the Optimal Optimus form from season 3.
Big time.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Well, thank you for having me, you guys. This is great. I love it. It's
Yeah,
a lot.
Thank you for being here. It really means a lot. So to get started, how did you? I'll ask a bunch of like boring questions first, and we'll just kind of see where the conversation goes.
What boring questions? There's no such thing.
How did you get started doing the voice of Optimus Primal? Now I know you would have had an existing relationship with Mainframe doing a voice on Reboot, correct? Did that play a
Right.
part in it?
And well, I don't know if that played a part in it, but I know that I did very well with Reboot. With I had several characters in the show, and they were quite popular. And so I had that kind of a history with those guys. But that was the first time I'd met them. McPherson and Gavin Blair and all those at Mainframe, which were wonderful. And what did I say? Well, the way it started was I don't know if I want to go the whole long, boring history of it, but I started cartoons back in 1982.
Oh
It
wow.
was my first cartoon, and that was a cartoon called Hiawatha, and it was for Kenner Classics. And I'd never done it before. You can find it. You can actually find clips of it on the internet on YouTube. And
I remember
played,
clips of it.
Huh?
I remember seeing clips of it here.
Yeah, I
and there.
played Hiawatha, and I played his dad. And
cool.
yeah, so I played a couple of characters, and I played an old woman in there too, and the bad guy. So it was a lot of fun, and I thought, I love this, and I'm going to continue on with it. And I moved back to Vancouver, and I tried out for a thing called Tech Force. Didn't work out. Tried out for another thing. It didn't work out. And then they said, well, we want voice matches. And I went, voice matches? So I did that with G.I. Joe. And I listened to some of the shows and watched some of the shows and voice matched some of them. And I ended up doing several characters on the G.I. Joe series. And then that led to other series like Beanie and Cecil and Kissy Fur and all this. And then along came the Mainframe thing. And they liked the improv in Mainframe with Hack and Slash. You know, I love that character. He's so much fun. You know, Megabyte is going to hold me. You know, all those things that we used to throw into the cartoon, which made it work very well, and ended up getting several characters. And then this one came along, this Beast Wars Transformers, and I'd heard of Transformers because I did commercials for Transformers back in the Generation 2. Way back then.
Oh,
so I knew about them.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Remember those? Transformers Generation 2.
Oh, I didn't realize that was you.
Yeah.
I remember those commercials.
Remember those commercials? Yeah. So that was a long time ago. But anyway, so I had no idea about Beast Wars. But I knew that Mainframe was doing it. It looked like it was going to be a lot of fun. And so I went in and read for Megatron. I read for Optimus Primal. I read for Rhinox. I read for all these different characters. And originally, they wanted me to be Megatron, and they wanted David Kaye to be Optimus Primal.
Oh, interesting.
But then I think Sue Blue was directing the first ones, the first season or two. And Sue said, I want you to make it like this. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And so I followed all her directions for Optimus Primal. And I did exactly what she said. And then she goes, that's Optimus Primal. And David, yes, you are Megatron. So that's how it worked out. And it was so much fun. And David was just a riot in the show as Megatron. As a matter of fact, every person, that's the one thing that I found very unique about our series, the Beast Wars series, was that every voice in that show was unique.
Oh, absolutely.
It had its own character, its own color, its own tone. It wasn't like, they all sounded like machines and they all have this kind of a voice and they all would blah, 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 or you don't know, but everyone had a different voice and a different color. And it made it so much more interesting where you could tell who was talking by the tone of their voice.
Without even looking at who's
without
talking,
even looking at it. I mean, you could always tell who Silverbolt was, and you could always tell who, what's her face? Pauline's Air Razor. You remember Air Razor and Tarantulas and Black Arachnia, and Dinobot. They all, every one of them had their own unique voice, and that's one thing I really loved about that show. And then the whole hiring process was amazing. I'll be very quick. The whole hiring process was, I went in, they read a couple of hundred people for these things. They narrowed it down 5 auditions or 5 callbacks or 4 callbacks later. I can't remember. They narrowed it down to me and David, and then I got it and David got the other. To put it
okay. So you still had to audition, is what you're telling us.
Oh yeah, I've had to audition for every single show that I've ever done. I've never been, they've never said, oh no, I tell a lie. Cybertron, I think, was the only one I never had to audition for.
So they even made you re-audition for Beast Machines?
No, Beast Machines they just every iteration was the characters were the same.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't make you because they were all by the same company. They were just I hate to say it, reanimating. They're not zombies, but reanimating the series. You know, and
Well, some of them are.
yeah, some of them are. But yeah, so that's how that went, and from then on, I did the Cybertron, Energon, those other iterations of the Transformers, Gen 1 Transformers, and carried on to do a lot of cartoons after that.
Yeah, I remember when Transformers Armada came out, and I just caught like a random episode of it, and I noticed that you were Optimus Prime and David K was Megatron. I'm like, oh, that cool. How did that come? How did that come about anyway?
Well, they wanted me to come in and do the show, but they wanted me to do Peter Cullen's voice. They wanted a Peter Cullen kind of robot truck voice.
Right.
But I said, but I am monkey.
I am not truck. I am monkey.
I'm not monkey. And they said, "Oh no, going to be the truck." So I tried that. And I did that. But you can still tell that it's my voice and it's not Peter Cullen's voice. But I got to be honest with you. I had a really hard time with those shows because they were so different from the Beast Wars that I'm used to, and I love doing prelay because I put all my own stuff in it, my own intentions and whatnot. And with the looping, you have to fit within the loops.
That makes sense, yeah. Because I mean, it's like animation that's already like pre-existing, and someone's already done that voice in another language. So
yeah,
so you
yeah, I've heard it in German. The funniest thing, I heard it was in Thai.
I need to go hunting for that.
My character in the Thai language. It's something to watch.
Even more difficult was you having to learn Thai to speak all.
I know, and it was so hard. It took so. I tell you a funny story. I was in Mexico. They dub all the shows into Spanish, and I was on holiday in Playa del Carmen, and the girl behind the counter who does the excursions, like to the ruins and stuff, she goes, "Oh my dear," like this, and I just what? She says, "You're on the shows," and I said, "Yes, I am." She says, "Your Spanish is fabulous," and I said, "I don't speak Spanish," and she goes, "Yes, you do. I saw you on TV." She goes, "No, it's a guy," and then I found out that the guy who does my voice does all my shows.
Oh, interesting.
So there's a Spanish Garry Chalk out there.
Chalk.
There's a Spanish German. There's a Spanish Dutch guy. There's a Spanish Scottish guy, because everybody knows you can't understand Scottish. No. What do you mean?
That's amazing. So they got a guy for everyone.
Yeah, they've got a guy for some guys, they keep conformity, like uniformity with the shows, so they always have the same guy. And they go, "No, I've watched you on TV. I've seen you. Your Spanish is perfect."
And they get that same voice actor to dub over you on interviews and stuff.
I've heard my voice and I've heard my character in Germany. In German, he goes, "So, Megatron, wie geht's bis morgen?" Like that. That's exactly how he sounds. Just like that.
Amazing.
That's right. Megatron.
We clearly need to watch more Beast Wars in other languages.
Oh,
it sounds like.
We've been I work at a grocery store that's like right in Nanaimo's harbor, and we've been getting a lot of tourists, so I've been hearing a lot of German in particular lately.
Oh yeah, you get a lot of German tourists up there.
Yeah, cruise ships and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, BC in general gets a lot of German tourists. There are places in BC where only German tourists go. Like I used to go to a ranch called the Flying U Ranch, and most of the people who were guests there were German. I had this one guy who was a banker from Bad Wiesbaden, and he spent 6 or 4 months a year at the ranch because he loved being a cowboy. Because at one time, Germans were cowboy crazy. They just loved cowboy stuff.
Huh.
So there you go.
Yeah, interesting. So do you have any like favorite memories associated with like the recording sessions for like Beast Wars or Beast Machines? Like anything like you like to look back on fondly?
Oh yeah, I mean, just all the times we had in the studio where when Scotty McNeil would fall asleep on the floor and we'd cover him with script paper and seen that happen, and then we've had the jokes going back and forth between Jimmy Burns and Lee Toker and Al Willows. They were all very funny guys, and there were no real how do I express it? There were no real things that really stood out.
Oh, that's fair.
Because we were so intent on working on the show. I mean, we still had fun, just bantering back and forth, but there were no real outstanding moments of let's say hilarity or gravity or whatever. I remember one time storming out of the studio because the subwoofer bass from Motley Crue was making me ill. But I don't think that was at Pinewood. That was at Little Mountain, and Little Mountain Sound. The sound, because we couldn't hear it in the studio, in the control room, but you could feel it in the floor and you could feel it in your stomach. And it was like that. And it would just make everybody really irritable. What the? Go storming out, throw your headphones off and run out the door. But that didn't happen very often. I've had a lot of funny moments on other shows, but Transformer was pretty serious.
Did you guys all record together in the same studio,
Yes.
or did you? Oh, you did. Okay, because I know
Everything was done ensemble, which was the other thing that made it great, because there were a lot of basically organic moments. Like the script comes alive, and the people in the script become alive because they're there talking to each other. And the thing was, as long as you left a little beat to an edit cut, let's say, you could carry on a conversation back and forth. And sometimes, like for Scotty McNeil, it was very difficult because a lot of times he'd be talking to himself.
I was gonna say it was probably amusing watching him bicker with himself at times.
He goes, "Oh, Black Arachnia, I love you, I adore you." What are you talking about? Don't go near him. Oh, we're all gonna die. And he'd be playing all these characters, and he'd go back and forth, and I'm going, how the hell does he stay on top of this? It blows me away. But he did. And it was cool.
How did you feel about the like how Optimus Primal as a character progressed? Because like where he was at say the beginning of Beast Wars to where he was like all the way like 5 seasons later, all the way to the end of Beast Machines, he went through quite a huge arc.
Well, at first it was, it was basically he was like the dad or uncle to all these other guys, these younger guys, and trying to hold him in place and being a leader. And that was cool. I like that. And the second one was again the conflicts increased or got stronger or more intense. And that was, I think, was it season 2 or 3 with the death of Dinobot? Was that
season 2?
Remember? It was season 2, yeah.
Yeah. We actually interviewed the writer of that episode, Ian Weir.
Yeah.
quite some time ago.
It's quite a tremendous. That was a tremendously, dramatic episode,
Hmm.
and it was. You really had to dig for your acting chops for that, and get it on. And it was very exciting and very fulfilling. There was lots of action, and some of the stuff of me turning into a real gorilla. That was another good one that I really enjoyed. The Call of the Wild, I think it was called, or something.
Yeah.
And then I think in season 3, if I'm not mistaken, it started to get a little bit more introspective and a little bit more of a navel gazer. It got really esoteric, and that's when I think that's when the Amazon, I can't remember her character's name, the one with the red hair and or green hair and the plants, making all the plants.
Oh,
grow.
in Beast Machines.
Yeah.
Botania or
Botanica.
Botanica. There we go.
That was a sort of a weird relationship with her. And then as it progressed, I started to get more and more, for lack of a better word, zen.
Honestly, yeah. When we had covered like Beast Machines, a very unpopular opinion, but I was like, man, I'm really liking this zen like inner peace kind of
The
primal that's going on. Yeah.
It was very competitive, and I thought, are we veering away from what we're about? Are we not the action figures that we were before? Are we not into it, or we're just going? Because I didn't know if that period, that zen period, I didn't know if it was going to have legs or not, as far as the story arc goes, because how far can you go with that? If something has to,
that's fair. Yeah.
Something has to happen. A conflict has to happen in order to keep the story rolling. If it gets too internal and too in that way, then the story will start to basically fade away.
I think that's why a lot of people, because they had the Beast Wars, and it's not called Beast Peace, and they felt like conflicted watching like Beast Machines, right? Because he's trying to be like yin yang, and Megatron's getting like worse and worse and worse, and like genocidal
Yeah, we referred to Megatron and Beast Machines as Space Hitler.
Well, I mean, he's pretty bad in that, right?
No,
and
but that's what I mean. If he gets worse and worse and worse, what is the turning point? What is the how far can it go before the Maximals say, now hold on a second, you're just getting a little bit too big for your britches, mister. It's
literally when he becomes the planet.
I mean, like, God.
Well, and I think
we got giant Megatron heads, but we didn't get giant Primal heads, and I feel robbed.
Ripped off.
Yeah.
Oh, I ran into a kid in the park who had a Transformers, a Prime head, and I said, "Watch this." So I put his helmet on, and I went, "Transformers, transform," and the kid just went.
Amazing.
What? Oh, it's happened. I've had some funny stuff happen with this character. Riding on a bus in Victoria.
Oh,
I was going down to the Empress Hotel to meet my friend who was going to have lunch. And I got on the bus, and it was farther out on I can't remember the name of the street. I think it was way out on Johnson Government, way out there. I said to the bus driver, "Does this bus go down to the Empress?" And he said, "Yes." "Oh, thank you very much." And I hear, "I know that voice." I know that voice. And this guy come running up from the back of the bus. He says, you're Optimus Primal. And I said, yes, I am. I do it. Do it. We watch it at the base all the time because he was from a Esquimalt.
Oh,
yeah.
All the time. And I said, I knew that voice. As soon as you said one word, I was like, oh, that's him. That's got to be him. And it was. But here's the thing. I thought, I'm just going to have a nice, quiet bus ride and go down to the Empress Hotel. No, because now the entire bus, they're looking at me and they go, wait a minute, you're that guy on TV. And I said, yeah. And he goes, no, I've seen you. You do all them shows. And you're on, holy man, you've been in a lot of stuff.
You're Colonel Chekhov on Stargate.
Yeah, you were Chekhov. Well, no, there was that. I was Polachuk on Cold Squad, and all these people on the bus. Now they're all chatting, and so I said, all I wanted to do was just go down. But it was kind of
now
funny.
you're not even allowed to get off the bus. You have to stay there. And
no, you have to stay. No, I can't. I gotta go. But I had a good laugh. I know that voice. The guy comes charging up. But yeah, all the fun stuff that happens, and all the great stuff that happens at the conventions. That's always a riot, isn't it? I remember a guy I was in Australia, and a guy saw me and burst into tears. And I said, well, why are you crying? He said, dude, you saved my childhood. You saved my life. And I went, what? No. He says, yeah, you saved my life. And he says, I can't believe it's you. I can't believe you. This is amazing. And it was quite emotional for him. And I was like, well, that's what, come here. And then we had a little chat for a little while, and that happens every once in a while. You have no idea what an onus is put on you. Sometimes, you have to live.
Sometimes you don't have a lot of good male role models, and you watch Beast Wars.
And that's exactly right. But then you have to live by it. And not saying that I don't want to live by it, because I do anyway.
Right.
But it's a responsibility. I was reading today of somebody who met one of their heroes at a convention who turned out to be a complete asshole, and so they were very sad. I said,
never meet your heroes, is what they say.
Huh?
Never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes, or else when you do meet them, hopefully they're okay.
Most of the time, people that I've talked to have been great, but I too have met a couple of jerks before, and I'm like, oh, I thought you were cool. I guess not.
I guess not. Oh well.
Well, there's always the issue of, like, once you enter a certain me, of course, having experienced this myself, once you enter a certain level of, like, stardom, you're random people encroaching upon your time, like your bus story, right? Like, it's fine to interact with people, I imagine, at conventions, because you're going there for that. But it's like, you just want to ride the bus, man.
But
sounds like you take it in good stride.
Without them, I don't have a job.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Because of them, not because of me, because of them, because they watch, and I will never forget that. I will never forget the people who traveled for a long ways just to come and see you and say hello, and just even for a couple of minutes. I mean, it's a big deal. I just sent off that little video for your friend there.
Yeah.
And I got an email. He's just over the moon. And I just say hello. It's I don't mind it. I mean, it happens every once in a while. It happened a few times. Remember when we were in England, sitting having breakfast?
Yeah.
This guy was another guy, a German guy. He says, I know your voice. And then this woman comes up to me and she goes, you're on television. You're Colonel Chekhov. And I said, yeah, I am. Can I have your picture? I said, okay. And then we took a picture and she goes, vielen Dank. And off she goes. I just have breakfast, just random. but that happens, and we see it a lot. Sometimes it's great, especially at the border.
Yeah.
You go there. I remember I got pulled over with the dreaded secondary inspection.
Uh-oh.
And I got pulled into this is just a random thing. And then he pulled me into this office, and the guy walks up and he goes, "So where are you headed?" And I said, "Miami." And he said, "So what are you doing there?" I said, "I'm just going to a convention anime." And he goes, "So what do you like?" And he said, "No, I'm going as a guest speaker. I'm Optimus Primal." And the guy's face went beet red, and he goes, "Dude, do the voice." So I do the voice. All of a sudden, he calls over all the customs officers and the customs guys behind the desk. "It's him! It's Optimus! Do it! Do it! Do it!" And so I do it, and they're just like, "Ah!" So sometimes it can be fun.
I mean, all things considered, that sounds probably like one of the better border experiences that a person could have.
Oh yeah.
It's usually not a lot of fun.
No, usually they're not.
What are some of your like favorite like performances or bodies of work that you've done over the years? It doesn't even have to be like Beast Wars or Transformers related.
Well, Beast Wars holds a special place in my heart for me. Cold Squad was another one, which was I did 7 years of this television series about old cold cases.
And my mom was a big fan of that show.
Huh?
My mom was a big fan of that show.
Yeah, I that was the boss on that show, and I won 2 awards for it back to back for best actor, and it was a lot of fun. I love doing Stargate was always fun with the Russian.
Mm.
And cartoons.
Big Stargate fan.
Yeah, it was Stargate.
Yeah,
Stargate.
I love Stargate.
Fun. Those guys, that's another story. But I love doing the Sonic the Hedgehog. That was fun. So it was one of my favorite little characters was Grounder. Love that. And this recent one, I just did a recent cartoon. I don't know if she has the clip still, but I did this thing called Monster Hunting Maniacs.
Amazing.
Which is absolutely hilarious fun. And I play this old guy named Arthur Evergon or something like that. I can't remember his last name. But Arthur is an old-time monster hunter, and he teaches these children the dangers of monster hunting, because there's only one kind of monster. What do you think that it is? And then what do you think it is? He goes, a vampire? No. Frankenstein? No. A wolfman? No. The ones that you have to watch out for are the dangerous kind. And they went, "Oh, that's cool, Grandpa. Great, thanks." But it's a very, very funny show. It's only showing in Iceland or it's only showing in England and Norway, Sweden, Denmark, that sort of thing. It's a Danish show, but it's looking for its U.S. and Canada release, and it's pretty hilarious if you ever see any of it. I like it. I think they have clips of it on the YouTube.
They must, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll hunt them down.
Yeah. And that one was a favorite. I also loved a show called War Planets.
Yes.
We did a 6-part podcast covering that show a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a wild premise.
Oh, I love. Hey, Tom. But I'll never forget. I went into I got a call from Ian Pearson, and he said, "I want you to come in." He's got a Lancashire accent, so pardon me. "I want you to come in and look at this character." And I said, "Okay." So I walked in, and there's this maquillage of this little lizardy guy, kind of a toady lizard, sitting on the table. And we're sitting there with a few people, and he goes, "Give me a voice for that." And I said, "When? Now?" "Yes." I want a voice for that now. So I looked at it and I looked at his face, and he had this like, it was kind of a, I got something you don't, baby. Hey. And so I went, hey, doll. And he goes, right, that's the voice. And I got hired.
I always got kind of used car salesman vibes from that character.
Yeah. So, what are you talking about, FEMA? Come on. But I had replaced another person, I guess, and I had to re-record like 6 episodes or 5 episodes of the show because I wouldn't even bid it. And that happened a few times. And I really liked a character. There was a show called Weirdos. Did you ever see that one?
I remember it. I didn't watch it though.
Oh, I played a mechanic, and I stole a character from what's that guy? And it goes real good with my taters. Blade. I took the Blade. I stole the Sling Blade character.
Sling Blade, yeah.
I was the mechanic.
Oh, yeah. I can see that now. Yeah.
That was kind of good. I really enjoyed that. So, that was So, as far as movies go, The Fly 2 was probably my best film experience in that it was my first lead role in a film, and I got to experience all the things that lead role players get, like the red carpet and the premieres and the great times on set with all the rest of the people, and the continuity of working like 3 months on a film was just like, it was just wonderful. I just absolutely loved it. And one of the most interesting ones was I did a mini series with Farrah Fawcett. I don't know if you remember her.
Farrah Fawcett. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
The pinup girl of the century. Yeah. I got to work with her for 3 months, and I played her husband, and it was a magical experience. That was just working with her. It was really wonderful. And then just recently, I had another great experience with a fella named Rhys Mayer, Jonathan Rhys Mayer, the Irish actor.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he did a show called Tudors, I think it was. He played Henry VIII.
Oh yeah.
That's who it is.
Yeah, and I did a movie with him called Disquiet, which is on Paramount Plus, I think. But I finally got to see it, and it turned out pretty good. I played as sort of a mentor for him, and it was just a great experience working with him. So great fun. So there's I got to be honest with you. There are very few times when I've had bad times with actors or bad times on productions. I can count them literally on 2 fingers, but they were pretty amazing.
Perfect. Now spill the beans. No.
What's that?
I was like, perfect. You can count them on 2 fingers. Spill the beans. Give us no.
Well, one was a long time ago. There was a producer on a show, and they had gone way over, and I got wrapped, and it was like 4 a.m. Then all of a sudden I was unwrapped, and then I said, "Look, I have a show tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm booked on a radio drama tomorrow, so I can't be here tomorrow." And the producer lost his mind. "We don't hire people who've got shit on their that kind of shit. We don't hire people who've got shows on who work on other shows. You're mine. You belong to me." And I said, "Wow. No, I don't. I'm sorry, but you went 3 days over. I'm booked on another show. You don't like it? Tough shit. I'm out." And the guy goes, "What?" And then the casting agent came around. What's going on? What's going on? And I said, "Look, it's not my fault that you're 3 days over on your schedule. I am booked on something else, and I'm going to do that. And if I finish and you still need me, then I'll come back." And so about 15 minutes went by, and the producer came back and he goes, "Okay, what are you doing tomorrow?" I said, "I'm doing a radio drama." "What time do you finish?" "Noon." "Okay. How long will it take you to get to the studio?" I said, 40 minutes. And he goes, 40 minutes. Yes. Yes. That will work. That will work. See you. Changed his whole tune.
Nice.
Wow.
Like,
He switched out with his identical twin.
I mean, it was just so weird. It was a wait out, and then 15 minutes later, it's like, you know,
it's almost
other
like
one
you
I
catch
can't
more
discuss.
flies with honey.
Huh?
You catch more flies with honey almost.
That's it. That's it. I nearly got choked out by the guy who played on the television series Dead Zone.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
He played the villain, Sean Patrick Flannery. He nearly choked me out. He got me in a chokehold. I guess he didn't realize, but he almost choked me out. I'm sitting there going, "Oh, stars! Okay, stop now." But had stuff like that. I got clocked in a movie by Joe Cortese. He was supposed to hit me in the head with a rubber gun, but he hit me in the head with a real gun.
Ooh.
And did. Well, I saw stars. I'm lying on the ground. I'm going, what? Yo! What?
That's the hardest rubber I ever felt.
Huh?
Hardest rubber you ever felt.
Oh, it really hurt. I mean, I had a big gonk on my head for ages. But he hit me with a 357 Magnum, which is a great big honking gun.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know what happened. I got caught up and I forgot to change the gun. And I said, well, you knocked me out, you prick. But yeah, it was okay after that. I was angry for a couple of minutes, but then it went all right. But it was that was another one of those shoots that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of great people in it. And, yeah.
The concussion made it more enjoyable, maybe.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
It was hard to remember after that.
Oh my God!
Seeing so many stars, everything's a good time, you know? Seeing so many stars, everything's a good time.
I know, and I was seeing more than just the stars on set. No.
All right. I won't take up too much more of your time.
No, I'm having fun. You can edit it all out.
Do you have anything?
I'll be more direct. I'll be more direct with the questions that when you ask. I'll be more direct with my answers. Yeah.
Oh, we hate direct answers.
Yes. No.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you have anything coming up that you want to plug?
Not at the moment because the writer's strike or performers strike is on.
Right.
I have my season of Riverdale is now showing on Netflix, and I have a sort of a regular recurring character on that show.
Oh,
as
cool.
John's boss. I play the editor of a comic book company, the chief editor of a comic book company, and I hire him to write comics for Pep Comics. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
and it's a good character.
I saw on IMDb that you have a. I saw on IMDb that you have a movie coming out called Exile. That was
yes, Exile. That's with Adam Beach.
It caught my attention because it said that it was filmed in Powell River, and I'm like, oh, hey, cool.
Yeah. We it was about a guy who could not be in contact with his family ever again, and the guy, because he had killed the guy's family in a driving accident, and the guy went crazy on him and said, if you ever go anywhere near or contact your family again, I will kill them. And that's why it was called Exile. and I was one of the I was the chief of police for the town in Powell River. That was a lot of fun. Had a great time. I had a great scene with this guy named Kaimo, who's a First Nation guy who's actually doing pretty well film wise, but it was his first show that he'd ever worked on.
Oh.
And we had a blast. Now he's fighting forest fires up north, but
he's one of the one of the people fighting the rampant fires going on up here.
Oh, I know, and it's crazy out there with it. But he's a seasoned veteran of forest firefighting, and the hell of a guy. I quite like him.
A lot of firefighting going on in BC right now. BC is kind of ablaze.
Every time you turn around, it's another fire, but not as bad as Lahaina, right, in Hawaii. Oh my God, the entire town is gone.
Jeebus.
Yeah, I read about that.
In Maui. It just blows me away.
And Candice was saying before we were on air that you got BotCon coming up.
Yeah, we got the convention coming up on the 24th to the 27th in Rutherford, New Jersey. I think it's a big amusement park kind of place, isn't it? Yes, and it's
American Dream Mall.
I'm sorry, again?
It's the American Dream Mall.
A dream mall?
American Dream Mall is what it's called.
It sounds like a Barbie set.
I'm thinking Dream Mall.
It's
what
got
a Dream Mall.
It has tons of parks. There's skiing, indoor skiing all year round. There's a swimming pool.
It's the mall you go to shop for dreams.
There you go. Okay, I got it.
Got all kinds of stuff.
Well,
I've never been there, but
sounds like a fun place. Why am I doing a convention? I should just go there for fun. But Sue Blue will be there. Scott McNeil will be there. Venus Terzl will be there.
Nice.
I'll be there. That'll be so much fun.
A lot of Beast Wars
Candice
people there.
She'll be doing her art there. Well, it's close for her. She just gets in her car, drives a half an hour, she's there.
It's more than a half an hour.
Everywhere in America is a half-hour drive. It's amazing.
Yeah, how about that?
Well, they think it's like, but here's the thing. You go to England, you drive, 100 miles, and it takes all day to drive 100 miles. Like, literally all day. Yeah, you drive 100 miles here, it takes 2 hours. Or, hour and a half.
I guess because everything there is so dense, huh?
Huh?
Yeah, I guess because everything there is like just so densely populated.
Well, there's no direct route anywhere.
There's no highway system, and yeah.
Well, they have the M motorways, but they're like toll motorways, and they go like a subway train. They go like this, straight this way, or straight that way, or straight this way. But when you want to get to a particular place, you have to go like this.
Yeah.
To get there, it's like a rat's maze, with there's no direct routes to some towns. I mean, I went with my brother. I rented a motorhome and went camping up in Wales a few years ago. And from London to Wales, it's about 350, 400 miles maybe to where we were going, Snowdonia. But it took us 2 days to get there.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Because he didn't want to pay for the motorway. I'm not paying to get on the motorway.
And hitchhiking must have made it even more difficult.
Yeah. It was but it was great. But it's people don't realize how good they have it here in North America with with our road system.
Right.
Built around the highway system.
That's it.
Especially Nanaimo. It's just built. It's a long town built around a highway.
It really is. It goes all the way. It goes all the way almost to where is it? Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney, Nanaimo.
Yeah.
If we keep getting people moving to the island, it'll just be one long stretch of city.
Well, right along the beach there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, Cancun and places like that down in Yucatan. Everything's like 30 miles or, not even that. Like there's a 5-mile strip from the ocean inland, and then it's just nothing but jungle. The highway is, one side of the highway is jungle, and the other side is houses. And it's like, 5 miles or if less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with the 9. Well, I remember shot a movie up there once called Trapped, or 24 Hours. And we had that when they had when the new highway wasn't completed yet. And that was
the parkway there. Yeah.
Yeah, the parkway, and it was with Dakota Fanning and Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
Courtney.
that one. Yeah.
Remember that one?
That's a good one.
We shot that up there, and Courtney Love, what a piece of work. And not Celine Dion. What's her name?
Charlize Theron.
Charlize
Theron, yeah.
Charlize Theron and her boyfriend. Oh my God, that was so much fun. But that was massive shots, and like 300 extras and cars and airplane crashes. And I'm cruising around in a helicopter for days. That was fun.
I'm gonna have to look this movie up.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to look this movie up. I haven't seen
Actually,
it.
a pretty good movie. It's called Trapped.
Yeah.
Or 24 Hours. Yeah.
I'll check it out when we're done recording here. I just got one final question for you, Garry. This I like to ask this question of everybody that we interview who was involved with Beast Wars in one way or another. It is a running gag that me and Cal like to harp on is that it's kind of nebulous and changes from episode to episode how long a cycle is. So Garry, how long do you suppose a cycle is in the world of Beast Wars?
The cycle of how long it takes to record it?
No, just how long is a cycle that they mention in the show?
There's a time frame, and they use like nanocycles. Oh, we're not going to be able to like reach base in cycles. In Transformers lore, there's like cycle, and it seems to be part of a day. Sometimes it's an hour, and
one cycle. My opinion that one cycle is the distance between breakfast and lunch.
There we go.
That's the best answer we've heard.
That's the best one we've got.
We're editing the wiki right now. It's the time between breakfast and lunch.
You got to plug in, to recharge your batteries,
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
See?
You can last one cycle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Makes sense to me.
Anyway.
All right.
How was that?
All right. Garry, Candice, thank you so much for being here. It's been a real pleasure. Loved having you on the show.
I love being here with you guys. And Candice, of course.
Thanks.
Comb your hair and everything.
Over here. I only had it tied back, Garry. All I did was take out the hair tie. And this is the result.
Oh, that's what it is. You let it flow. Yeah. That
Called magic. Men don't understand. Called magic.
Luxurious.
You guys are great. Thank you very much for a wonderful, entertaining afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Means
all right,
lot.
You guys. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.
I'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Too much energy.
And that was our interview with Garry Chalk. Once again, I want to extend the utmost gratitude to both him and Candice for being on the show, and hopefully we can have them on the show again some other time. It was a real treat. It was a big deal for me, especially for 11-year-old Siege, to get to talk to Optimus Primal himself.
You should have said that to him when he was on here. Next time you'll pour your heart out.
I didn't want to fan.
Candice is always like great. But yeah, it was exactly. It was great. He's easy to talk to. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, great. And we got to get into a bunch of local talk because he lives on the west coast of BC, just like we do. He's pretty familiar with both the towns that Cal and I live in, which is pretty rad.
Yeah. Run along now, local talk.
So yeah, once again, that big thanks to Garry Chalk and Candice for being on the show. It was a joy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was episode 128 of Too Much Energon. Best way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/lasercomb. We're at the single $5 Garry tier. You get hours upon hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon exclusive show, the Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb. Follow me on Instagram at Christopher Siege, and Cal, people can follow you at...
I'm at the Instagram and threads at Calhalla, Kalhalla. But yeah, I make TikToks here and there. At NeoCal on TikTok. There's something called XYZ or like the Twitter or like whatever, and we've abandoned ship.
Yeah, we jumped ship from Twitter or
I barely
X
posted
or
X,
the X,
the app formerly known as Twitter.
X not gonna give it to you.
there you go. How have you not made that joke before?
I don't know. Anyway, we'll be back next time with episode 129 of Too Much Energon, where this time we'll be talking about the first episode of Beast Wars 2nd. And until then, I've been the Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm NeoCal, your other host.
Thanks for listening. We will Prime Jet see you next week.
And as always, stay beastly.
Bye-bye.
Beast Wars!